Whereas some countries in the world are facing various natural disasters, hurricane, earthquake, volcanic eruptions, tsunami, several others, what a nation like Nigeria is facing as its natural disaster is clueless leadership. Clueless leadership. And it has been super glued on us that some people think that it's even normal. And so I hear in the news that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has collected over $500 million loan from the World Bank, and he wants to invest it. The word is invest in giving 8,000 naira to 12 million households in Nigeria for 6 months. I'm not surprised, right? I'm not, but a lot of you would be. But what's the difference actually between Tinubu and Buhari? Same thinking, same mindset, same cluelessness, same brain, same understanding of what they think governorship should be, what they think leadership should be. Same impression, same circle, same. But of course, different brands. One was called Say Baba. The other one is now called Jagaban. Same syllabus, same syllables. Unfortunately, there are people who are going to defend this nonsense. What can 8,000 naira do for 12 million households? As I talk to you right now, a pack of biscuits for my kids that lasts them about 1 week costs about 3,000 naira. That is minus the juice that they take to school. Just a pack. 8,000 naturally would not pass through 3 days in a normal situation. Have you bought tomatoes recently? What we expect a government like Bola Ahmed Tinubu that inherited a lot of cluelessness to do is to begin to find how to solving the problems. You cannot collect a loan from World Bank and that's the same thing that happened in Buhari's government. Trader money, farmer money. You were going to give money to farmers to go and farm, whereas the bushes and their farms were not habitable. They couldn't pass through their bush path to their farms because it was surrounded by several bandits and no government. Insurgency took over. Federal government refused to invest in critical security of lives or properties of the country, but continue to give peanuts to people. And that's how they rubbish the beautiful name that Professor Yemi Osinbajo built over the years. Trader money, 10,000 naira. You heard the other day that a certain minister said that billions of nairas were used in feeding families. I never got. My mom never got. People around me never got. But of course, you know where poverty headquarters is in Nigeria. So they keep pumping this money there for a couple of the elders of that particular tribe to take into their houses, to take care of themselves. And when it's time for Salah, they share for Asadaka to people and they say they are feeding families. That's the curriculum. And that has been what we have been used to. Unfortunately, people like Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not sit down and study how economies of this world, how emerging economies did theirs. It is in 2023 you hear that people are going to take loan to give stipends to people to feed. 8,000 naira. Go and verify, go and check. China is the second largest economy in the world with a GDP of over $17 trillion. Over $17 trillion. But China was not like that in the 60s and 70s. Something happened. Starting from the 80s, 1978 actually, China began to invest critically in certain things in the country that has made them now to stand at par with the United States of America. What did China do? First and foremost, technical know-how. China allowed leadership that know. And that's the problem with this country basically. The natural disaster of leadership, ineffective, inefficient, incapacitated leadership that has invaded us will never allow us to rise beyond a certain level. It is now you are seeing the country began to allow leadership that works, leadership that has sense, leadership with focus and vision. And they began to also policies, reforms in policies. You hear in China, go and read. It became a norm to giving support to small and medium scale enterprises. You don't give stipends for people to feed. You put in policies, waive off tax, waive off levies, make critical investment in infrastructures, roads, power, remove certain embargoes, certain things that makes it easy for small and medium scale enterprises to be able to thrive in the society. That's critical reforms. Critical reforms. And these reforms brought in foreign direct investment in technology, in management know-how, and of course in serious investment in money. They had money, capital. Companies began to throw in. Of course, the country had population advantage. So they could get cheap labor. And then, God. It's painful, Sha, that in 2023, this discussion we are still having. So when Peter Obi was giving statistics, they said, now statistics we go chop. See you now. See who don't like statistics. You don't go for trap with the set with for 8,000 naira my foot. And then you began to see reforms in critical. In fact, in a World Bank report in 2022, it stated that China, he said its people, over 800 million persons were able to lift themselves out of poverty. Over 800 million persons were able to lift. That's the phrase that World Bank used. Lift themselves. Because government refused to give 5,000, 8,000 to stipends to people. It invested in and then when we keep talking about foreign direct investment, talk about foreign exchange. These are the things. What is China invested so much that the manufacturing and servicing sector of that country today, China is being referred to as the world's factory. World's factory. Everything is happening. We have rural areas, but everybody is choking the city because there are no easy access. There are no passable. There's no security in our rural areas. These are the things that we keep complaining about. How do government sit in 2023 to observe all this and say close their eyes and ears to common sense? And there are several other nations. Go to Singapore. Today, China is rapidly growing because of all this direct investment. So many persons are even leaving the manufacturing and began to also strictly put in money. Of course, in the head, because one of the disadvantages of the China economy is that the people are growing rapidly and so they are getting old. And that's why you're seeing so many of these drugs, aloe vera, a couple of innovation in health technology to helping them sustain, get stronger health. So investment began to happen in the health and in the educational sector in the country. There is a trigger, and the trigger is reform, managerial know-how, and of course opening up your country to foreign direct investment in capital, in technology, and of course in management know-how. That's the disadvantage you have. Everybody that has sense in this country is running away. For China, they made their country attractive for people to not just invest money, they also invested money and also looked at how to invest technology that will make whatever investment they are making to make it easier. And they also began to send in professionals from different parts of this world to go to China to help in the cause. But here, we are a country that are clapping that our people should go japa if you want to japa. May this 8,000 naira that they are sharing be well with you and your family. May this 8,000 favor you and your family. May this 8,000 favor you and your family. Oh. Fortunately, this is where we are as a country. We left sensible people. We left qualified people. And we allowed INEC to have an unholy romance with this APC and produce this hogwash of leadership that we have. Nonsensical. Who do fear we? Look at where we are as a people. 8,000. Nigerians start to lie. We are not paying salaries. Look, we are borrowing to pay loans. We will still borrow to give stipends to Nigerians. Whereas the most important thing is to begin to invest in critical infrastructures, in roads, in power, support state government, support private individuals to see how we can empower our power sector. Most importantly, allow security resume. Oh God, will be like say this way they as rigid they off their brain. What does it take for you to begin to attract serious partnership in curbing the insurgency in this country? Make security of lives and properties paramount, so that these people can Even me, I am scared of being kidnapped, let alone an expatriate coming to this country. Shame on Nigeria. Shame on this country. Shame on the leadership of this country. Because if this is what they want to go, if this is the path they want to turn in 2023, this is an embarrassment. I'm disappointed. I'm ashamed to be called in Nigeria.